Welcome back, YouTubers and toy train buffs, to the Edge of Town layout refurbishment. In today's installment, we're going to cover several things: a little bit of scenery rejuvenation, a new old accessory, a new or different cars and trucks on the layout, as well as a new train set. Now, let's cover the new old accessory first. This is the Lionel barrel loader. If you remember from a previous video, I talked about using that shack as a guard shack, as well as crossing shanties and whatever else I want to use it for. Tool shed, whatnot. But this is where it belongs, on top of the, what do we got here? This barrel loader building. This is from 1990. It's a very basic accessory. It's a manual one. Snap together assembly. No glue required, although there's one or two pieces that could probably use a touch of glue. But here's how it works. It sits up rather high to accommodate the barrels which are on this platform. Then, and of course, it sits up high so that the chute can reach over the gondola. Alright? So you take a barrel, and it'd probably be best to do it this way. Oops. With the closed end this way. Alright, there we go. So you do that, take this lever, give that bad boy a kick. There you go, and into the gondola. Now, the one piece that could probably require a little glue is this right here, because it holds the chute in place and has a tendency to come loose. Okay. Now, as part of my efforts in layout planning or replanning, I put the gondola, which is a rather short one, by the way, and a boxcar together. Now, if these were, let's say, Marx 6-inch 4-wheel or even 6-inch 8-wheel cars, they would work just fine in this area. But if I want to run a variety of rolling stock and trains and whatnot, then this becomes a little bit problematic. As you can see, the boxcar sticks out into the grade crossing. The only way I can think of to alleviate that is to extend the side track, and to do that I would have to take the tunnel out. That's okay. I would be okay with that. It's still a toy train layout, and I would be okay without having a tunnel. Its tunnel adds a scenery break and a little extra toy train touch to the layout, but that's okay. It's my layout. Alright, I said new, old. Well, I took out the vintage plastic vehicles that were on here and pulled out these die-cast vehicles. These are the ones I could get to quickly. And these pretty much date from the 90s from a variety of companies, so they're becoming vintage in their own right. Alright, and I did that because they kind of go with this really nice tractor trailer combination that's a part of the new train set. Alright, so we have new accessory that fits just perfectly in that siding. But we also have a siding that now appears as if it may be a little bit too short and might have to be redone. We have new vehicles. Vehicles are easy to swap out. You can change the look of a layout in no time just by swapping out vehicles. Cool. But what I did yesterday in the realm, that's a good word, realm, I like that, of scenery refurbishment, was I went over the rocky areas of this small raised area, and dry brushed them with exceedingly lighter coats of brown. The base coat made everything kind of blend in, and it looked really bland. It was ugly. I didn't like it. It was bland and featureless. And there are features in here. They're already in here as part of the plaster that was laid down when this layout was built. So the features were there. You just couldn't see them because everything blended together under that coat of brown. And it was the same brown that you see here. That gallon of brown paint I've been nursing for years. I've used it on I don't know how many layouts, and I've still got maybe a quarter of a gallon left. Isn't that cool? But here's what I did. Using a dry brush technique, I'll go over here. Here's my work surface. I took this toffee color, got it at Michael's, followed by this linen color, which I believe was Walmart, Folk Art, followed by white. With each succeedingly lighter color, I used less paint on the brush. And all I would do, I use this brush, dip it into paint, wipe most of it off, go over here, brush it on. The toffee, I put a little bit more on. It didn't quite cover that other brown, the darker brown. I left the deeper areas, the darker brown, and just hit upon the higher areas of the scenery. All of that was followed by the white. Now the white, where did I put this here? The white, when it was finished, was just too much. It looked like snow. It didn't look like highlights anymore. It looked like snow. So I had to knock down that white, and to do that, I used this. This is a 50-50 wash of isopropyl alcohol and India ink. Even though it looks black and dark when it's in the jar, once it gets on here and washed, it dries, well, not quite as dark. But it was able to take away a lot of that almost snow look. And I'm left with enough detail where now I don't have this featureless lump of terrain on the board. I have something that looks halfway decent. Alright, so that was the scenery. I took that backdrop and cut it down. There's two buildings lopped off the left side of that. And that backdrop's temporary. Sooner or later, it's going to end up in the garbage, okay? Because when I redo these panels, I'm not even using that. However, it bothered me that all those buildings extended out into what should be a river flowing from this lake. So, you know, that's been modified slightly. And I don't know yet how I'm going to treat the backdrop once I get around to that, but I'll figure out a way. It's not my first rodeo, folks. I've been down this before, and it just takes a little planning. Okay. Now, here's a new set I got. I don't know the set number. It was sold without the box. However, you have the venerable Santa Fe 442 or Lionel 442 in Santa Fe livery, and has a log car, really nice Santa Fe box car, this flat car hauling the tractor, followed by the flat car hauling the trailer, and last but not least, lighted caboose. It's kind of a deluxe, I would guess it's a deluxe set, because it has 5 cars, some of these deluxe type cars, as well as whistle and smoke, and of course the engine's lighted, as you would expect. Doesn't have rail sounds, but it has the old style whistle tender. So let's give this thing a run so you see this thing go through its paces. What do we got here? All right. This is almost about as long a consist as I'd want on this little layout. Now let's toot that whistle. Typical air whistle. No bell. Doesn't have a bell. Does not have chug chug sounds. But I have become a big fan of Lionel's 442 engines. They're good runners. They're pretty decent haulers. They're just workhorses. Now, this is about as slow as this train will get and run consistently, you know, without stalling. Playing with the speed control a little bit. You can see it's puffing out smoke. You know, what I was thinking was taking that tunnel and perhaps placing it in this corner. That might not be so bad. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, it's almost the law if you have a toy train layout that you have a tunnel to go on it, right? Alrighty, well, let me give it a little electrical boost there. I'll speed it up just a little bit so we have a nice consistent run. Alright, there we have it, folks. This installment covered what? A new old accessory, new vehicles, a little thinking behind some track planning, refurbishment of the scenery, and the new layout. I'm sorry, the new train set. Oh, one other thing. Remember I said progress is slow? I glued the two pieces of styrofoam together. So I suppose the next step will be clearing away these backdrops and gluing down that styrofoam to that corner. And then after that comes the messy part. Carving, vacuuming, carving, vacuuming. Alrighty. So until next time, ciao, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, adieu. Hit like, and subscribe. And I thank you all for watching. Goodbye.